While we fix these immediate problems in housing and transport, we have to press on with our priorities to help Singaporeans have a better quality of life over the medium to long term. We have to shift gears for an economy and society that is in transition. We are no longer a developing economy, but we have not achieved the levels of productivity and incomes of an advanced economy. At the same time, our own workforce is growing more slowly and is gradually getting older. We must make every effort to achieve quality growth, growth that is achieved mainly through innovation and higher productivity, and growth that will benefit all Singaporeans, our children, working families, our elderly and disabled. Our strategies for achieving quality growth and an inclusive society are in fact tied inextricably together. Our strategies for achieving quality growth and an inclusive society are bound up together and are one and the same. Raising productivity is not just our most important economic priority, but enables us to have a better society. Higher productivity is the only sustainable way to raise incomes for ordinary Singaporeans and provide jobs for that give people a sense of responsibility and empowerment. Higher productivity is also necessary for us to shorten working hours over time and allow Singaporeans to enjoy a better work-life balance. Our society is also facing the pressures of widening income disparities. This is happening in cities globally and in Asia, but it matters more to us because Singapore is not just a city, but a nation. We must take further steps to temper inequality. We also want to do more to enable our seniors to have a sense of economic security and fulfillment in their retirement years. On both economy and society, therefore, we need to shift our thinking. In government, where we are reshaping policies and driving new initiatives, especially to sustain social mobility and strengthen support for older Singaporeans. In the business community, which has to innovate and adjust to the permanent reality of a tight labor market. In our society at large, where we have to accord ordinary workers not just better pay, but better respect. In the community, with non-profits and other voluntary groups pursuing the causes we all believe in, and working with an active partner in government. And for all of us as individuals, to do our best to improve and to contribute to our country in our own ways. We are restructuring our economy. We began this in earnest in 2010 by tightening foreign worker inflows, supporting enterprises in their efforts to upgrade operations and improve productivity, and investing in our workers by heavily subsidizing their training in every skill. We need to intensify this economic restructuring and skills upgrading so as to achieve quality growth. Although wages are going up in a tight labor market, productivity has lagged. If we do not do better in raising productivity, we will be caught in a situation where businesses lose competitiveness and wages eventually stagnate. Both workers and businesses will be worse off. We must help our SME sector revitalize itself. There are, however, wide divergences in efficiency amongst SMEs, even in the same industries. Restructuring will unfortunately lead to some businesses being winnowed out. But the end result must be a vibrant and sustainable SME sector. Every support must be provided to help the businesses which bring in more efficient techniques and service models so that they can grow in a tight labor market and, where possible, make their mark internationally. There are already many examples of SMEs transforming themselves in every sector. For example, in furniture manufacturing, a mature industry. Local firms are training multi-skilled employees, relocating manpower intensive activities, developing unique brands, unique Singapore brands, and carving a niche for themselves in overseas markets. To make this economic transition, we must also harness the value of older Singaporeans and design jobs suited for them, as well as for other potential employees who are unable to work regular full-time jobs, regular full-time schedules. Flexible work practices must become more common, enabling employees to structure their work so that they have time for their families or for personal development like part-time courses. We should also make it possible for more employees to have the option of telecommuting from home or working from smart work centers near their homes, like what they have in Amsterdam and Seoul. The government will work closely with businesses in these efforts. We are also taking major steps to ensure a fair and more inclusive society. First, to sustain social mobility. Meritocracy alone will not assure us of this. We therefore want to do more, starting from early in our children's lives, to give the best leg up to those who start off with a disadvantage. We cannot change the fact that children have different family backgrounds that bring very different advantages and disadvantages. But we want to find every way at the preschool and primary school levels to help our children from poorer and less stable families to develop confidence and the self-belief that gives them aspirations of their own, and to help them to catch up when they fall behind. Find every way to help them to catch up when they fall behind. And we will provide pathways to develop every skill and ability so that every child can discover his strengths as he grows up and can do well. Second, we must do more to mitigate inequality. We are making our fiscal system more progressive by tilting our taxes and benefits in favor of the lower and middle income groups. Currently, a lower income older worker receives a significant top-up of income through workfare each year. A middle income family with a child in childcare gets subsidies of $4,800 each year. If the child is in university, he can receive more than $8,500. This is for a middle income family. Bursary support in the course of his studies. And get a subsidized government loan to pay off the remaining fees and cover study expenses. Children from low-income families receive much more from childcare all the way through to ITE Poly University. Singaporeans with disabilities now receive substantially greater support, both when young, through early intervention under EPIC, as well as adults, where we provide a substantial incentive through the special employment credit for firms to employ them so that they can contribute and lead more independent lives. An older Singaporean in need of long-term care can receive subsidies of $870 per month for home-based care or $1,200 per month if he's in a nursing home, following the changes we introduced last year. Those who need more help will get it through MediFund. We will take further significant steps in this budget towards strengthening social mobility and increasing the progressivity and fairness of our system. In particular, with enhancements to workfare, a low-wage worker above 55 years old would receive a top-up of his pay of up to 30%. Workfare would add 30% to his pay. This is in addition to what his employer can receive through the special employment credit and the new wage credit scheme to be introduced in this year's budget, which will encourage his employer to up his pay. While raising incomes is the best way to help lower and middle income Singaporeans cope with rising costs, this budget will also include measures to help them more immediately. The most significant support will go to older Singaporeans to help them with medical costs. Taking all our measures together, including those which will be announced in this year's budget, taking the measures that we've introduced previously, together with those in this year's budget, we are providing substantial benefits to lower and middle-income Singaporeans. The full picture can be seen if we look at benefits over a lifetime, starting from a young couple's needs when they first have children to the time they get old and need other types of help, especially with their healthcare costs. In total, over a lifetime, a young, low-income couple with 2 children can expect to receive more than $600,000 in benefits in real terms. Looking at 2013 prices, adjusting for inflation, it amounts to $600,000 in today's dollars. This comes from subsidies and means-tested benefits in a range of areas: the children's education, housing, healthcare, workfare, the GST voucher, the permanent GST voucher, and other schemes. $600,000 in benefits over a lifetime in real terms, adjusted for inflation. This is much more than we used to provide in the past. In the last decade alone, we have more than doubled the lifetime benefits in real terms for such families. When we take into account all the taxes that such low-income families will pay, mainly GST, they will get back far more in benefits. In fact, they will get back more than $5 in benefits for every dollar in taxes paid. That's the way the system stands. However, today's generation of older Singaporeans will not benefit as much as younger Singaporeans from the enhancements in workfare and CPF and other schemes. We want to do more for this senior generation of Singaporeans who worked over the years, worked over the decades, often with low pay, to build a better future for their children. They made today's Singapore possible. We will do more for them. The government is reviewing the system of healthcare financing and some other schemes to help them in their retirement years. Finally, the budget will make significant investments to nurture the sports and arts, which play a growing role in enriching life in Singapore. Over the next 5 years, we will invest 30% more in sports programs and more than double our investments to develop regional and community-level sports facilities. The government will also create a new cultural donation matching fund to provide dollar-for-dollar matching for donations to arts and culture. In short, we are building a better Singapore, a more inclusive and caring society with an innovative and dynamic economy so that Singaporeans can have better opportunities and more fulfilling lives.